Last night, around 8:09 p.m., Venus Theory was out peacefully yelling at a group of teenage degenerates in a Wendy's parking lot when he received a special notice. If you're looking for your fix of the Grump stash this week, you're not going to find it. Have you seen my video about why you might want to sign a record deal with Mountain Dew? Probably not. You know why? Because YouTube has cleverly decided to market as adults-only content for containing, and I quote, extreme violence, of which 4 YouTube reps were not able to point out to me, and none of them were willing to sit down and actually watch the damn thing to find out where it is. So, I guess I went a little too Tarantino with this one. You're not going to see it, and now I have to spend the next week of my life not sleeping and furiously cranking out a video for next week so you have something to watch and so I can pay my mortgage that appeases my YouTube overlords.
Everybody got that?
For those who didn't see, our friend Venus Theory over here did a video about the music business and the current state of affairs, as well as a lesser known story about a record label called Waffle House Records.
When you think of record labels in the music industry, you're probably thinking of labels like Sony and EMI and Universal and so on. This is Waffle House. This is a can of Red Bull. And this is a can of Mountain Dew. What you might not know about these things is they're actually responsible for bringing you artists like AWOL Nation, Chromeo, Beartooth, Flostradamus, and the classic music hit, There Are Raisins in My Toast. So, all this begs the question, what? A lighthearted romp, by all accounts, exploring an obscure end of the music industry that could be, well, the future of the music industry.
Now, as you can tell here, Venus Theory, or Cameron as we know him, is very experienced at making YouTube videos. At first I was like,
Hey, what'd you do to my friend?
but to his larger point, the situation really affects all of us, and that's the reason why I'm doing this reaction video. As far as everything goes in the video, it's definitely something that we can relate to here on the channel, being a smaller channel.
Every time Venus Theory decides to use a Venus Theory song in a Venus Theory video, Venus Theory gets a copyright claim. Why? Because that makes sense. An important note for the rest of this video.
This is one of the most frequent issues that we deal with here as music producers within this space, and that's receiving copyright claims and restrictions on our videos that disable our ability to monetize based on a BS copyright claim that should never be there in the first place. And it's crazy the stuff that gets flagged. For example, I've been flagged several times for custom drum patterns that I made during a live stream. I've mentioned it a few times on here, but I'm not alone in this. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Venus Theory, the silly little skank that he is, decided in this video to use a clip of a fight at a Waffle House.
What?
Which he found on the Fox 11 YouTube channel with nearly 1 million views, of course, fully monetized and available for all ages. I do wish I could show you this clip here now, which is still publicly available on the Fox 11 YouTube channel, fully monetized and available for all ages, but I can't. Why? Because that makes sense.
There was a music video that I put out a while back. Featured Chxmp, Flexington, and Bam Vox. Now the thing with this video, and I knew it ahead of time, is that it had a lot of January 6th footage in it. And because of that, I knew that I'd face some consequences as far as it getting flagged or demonetized. But during that time, I was a little less aware of how the system worked here on YouTube. So I just didn't fight it and didn't say anything about it and just moved forward. But they did the exact same thing. All of the clips that I used in my video were public domain that came from YouTube directly, and they came from monetized channels. It's kind of crazy that they would shadow ban my video but let those ones remain and be completely monetized. But because of the subject matter and the graphic detail within the video, I just didn't say anything about it and moved forward.
I'm sure other creators out there have been affected by this, but this is the first time it's affected old Veiny Boy here. It turns out that after chatting with a YouTube rep for the last 3 minutes, they had somehow miraculously reviewed the content of a 14-minute video and decided to manually uphold their decision. Amazing!
Now that is complete BS there. They knew exactly what the problem was, where it was a problem, but instead of communicating this, they decided to uphold their decision without taking in consideration the rest of the narrative of the entire video.
What this now means is Old Vini's video won't be served up in the YouTube algorithm as much, and can instead only really be seen by embedded players on third-party websites or by directly accessing it on his channel's videos page.
Yeah, and that kind of lets you know who's in charge of this platform, right? They could just dictate the terms of how your video is being spread throughout the platform. I get it, that's their prerogative. But when you have YouTube partnerships and you have creators that are bringing in a decent amount of traffic to the platform, wouldn't you want that traffic in your platform? Wouldn't you want those views on that video? Wouldn't you want to take a look to make sure that everything's everything instead of just casting it aside like that? That's money you guys are losing. It's not just the creator that's losing money, it's YouTube that's losing money. So you guys are affecting your own pockets by doing this.
It's also worth noting that there's no way to know the broader implications that this might have for old Vini's channel. Will he be deprioritized in the algorithm? Has he been shadow banned? Will he receive less AdSense as a punishment for his grievous and extreme deviations from the corporate master plan?
It really has you questioning your own mortality on this platform, or any other platform for that matter.
Venus Theory then decided to post a YouTube short calling YouTube out on their bullshit to tell his audience he spent the last half-decade building why they weren't seeing their beloved host this week. YouTube then decided to immediately disable the comments, and Venus Theory had to stay up all night re-enabling them every 5 minutes so that the people could weigh in on Daddy YouTube's naughty naughty.
Now, I was aware of this as it was happening. Venus Theory is a friend of the channel. You could just look back a few videos ago. That said, I left a comment on his original video and I left a comment on the short, and I was lucky enough to catch it right away to where when it kept getting disabled, I kept seeing it. It disabled, re-enabled, comments would go on there and then they would go away. And yeah, it was crazy how they constructively and strategically decided to go in there and mess with it like that. That really has you questioning your own mortality on this platform as well. It would have me thinking twice about it, but it's already got me thinking.
So, now we all might be wondering, what does this mean for old Vini Weenie's channel? Will he have to start streaming every night for the next couple weeks in order to himself out enough to make enough super chats to pay his bills? Are his dogs gonna have to start working the polls again at Big Al's Tire Shop and Gentleman's Club? The answer is, he has no f***ing idea, because YouTube makes the rules and he don't.
There it is. YouTube makes the rules. And right now, the rules that they're playing by don't seem fair to a lot of people on this platform.
On a more serious note, I understand that I am in an extremely privileged position here to be a full-time content creator, which is a dream job for many people. This is really not a priority in the grander scale of life, and I'm not out there saving lives or anything really like that. My viewers also deserve to see my content as it was designed to be seen. At the same time, I understand that YouTube is a private business and they have every right to control their site however they see fit, but stuff like this, frankly, just comes across as kind of bullshit and arbitrary. I understand I am not out there fighting fires. I understand I am not working in a hospital saving lives. I understand I am not pulling people out of a car wreck or doing literally anything else that would be more productive in society instead of sitting here bitching at a camera maybe twice a month.
Your videos are deep, they're insightful, and they have a lot of tangible value. So don't sell yourself short on what you actually do for people here. Just thought I'd mention that real quick.
But I do firmly believe in creative work, and I firmly believe that creations are designed to be consumed the way they were created. I understand that I am not PewDiePie, I am not Markiplier, I am not anyone of that caliber, but I am a creator and I do bring people to this platform at this point, and I've worked really goddamn hard to make that happen. I'm mostly worried about the precedent this sort of behavior sets, especially for smaller channels, many of whom I'm a fan of, who might want to continue creating content for this platform.
Now, I've already mentioned this in the comments, but yeah, this is really discouraging. And considering the frequency in which it and other problems happen that seem to be okay in other genres, or at least that's the appearance that they're giving off with what they're doing here, with all the copyright violations when custom music is being made and the infractions when it comes to copyright claims. This is really discouraging. And it has me rethinking my entire strategy moving forward. As a matter of fact, because of this whole situation, I'd probably take a little bit of a break right now if it weren't for the 50th anniversary of hip hop. That's how discouraging this is. It has me pausing and rethinking everything moving forward.
It's really frustrating to think about that because I've already achieved something that's not really that insignificant and hard to do, and I have no power over any of this. And I can't even imagine being in a position as a newer creator or smaller creator facing the same sort of thing where you would just be stonewalled out of any form of resolution.
It sucks. Like I said, I moved forward with my particular issue when it comes down to it, though. You know, everything is such a fine line as far as the content's created, and there's always that wonder on whether or not something is going to be flagged or banned based on some arbitrary BS that has nothing to do with anything that is okay in other areas of the platform.
So I guess the questions here remain for YouTube. What do you think the cost of a sort of favoritist censorship is on your platform? What message do you think your arbitrary decision-making process sends to the creators? What message do you think this sends to new and aspiring creators who will be the ones to maintain your platform in the future? I guess what I'm ultimately getting at here is, what do you think the ultimate cost of removing the you in YouTube is, when ultimately the you, meaning us, the creators, are the ones who provide the content for this godforsaken hell site to begin with?
It certainly doesn't send a good message, that's for sure. The type of favoritism in YouTube hasn't gone unnoticed, and there's a reason why people in this genre of music production do not take advantage of this platform. It's because of stuff like this. Now, there are a lot of other reasons, but this is a huge part of it. It is tremendously discouraging, and I'm talking from a perspective of somebody who just got my AdSense account hooked up, who's just hitting that 1,000 mark, and it's just finished everything I needed to get done for monetization here on this platform. But then again, this brings me to my earlier point and why a lot of music producers don't become content creators. Not everybody is the same within this space. There's definitely a lack of fairness going on here. Now, this is the reason why I have EA Ski here on the thumbnail. He's an example exactly of what I am talking about, and he does things the right way musically. Even he does things independently through his website on his own platform instead of taking advantage of everything that YouTube has to offer for the very same reasons, and he'll even tell you those same reasons. And that kind of brings me to our friend Curtis King over here, who just put out this video.
Rashad from Earn Your Leisure, which is a financial platform by some really intelligent brothers that really give the game in terms of financial literacy. I really love what they do. Rashad says, being on social media is worse than signing a bad record deal.
If you're on social media, you agreed to let them use your content, repurpose your content however they feel free. You agreed to promote their platform. You're actually making content for them, which they're selling ads against, and you're not getting paid anything. And you've never questioned it one time. So anything that's free, you're the product. If there's no platform and nobody's making content, then there's no revenue model for them to make money. You're literally working for them, and you've never got paid for it. You don't own your content. You gave the rights away as soon as you signed up for it. You are the product. They are the business. You're working for them for free. You don't have any control of what they do. You can't control who you reach. You don't control your content, and you're not getting paid.
Stop, Rashad, stop. You don't gotta say the inside voices so loudly.
And that's EA Ski's point exactly. And that's why he does things the way that he does. And that's why people should be listening to him and people like him on this platform, because he is a real music producer. I'm not saying that by comparison nobody else is a real music producer. What I am saying is that it behooves YouTube to retain somebody like him to be involved and active regularly on this platform. There's a lot of people of his stature that are reluctant or just flat out refuse to participate on this platform. There's no way you'll ever see them on YouTube. For good reason. When you have the ability to create an audience on your own, and all it takes is a little bit of extra time, extra effort, what do you have to lose? If you put everything on here, what do you have to lose? The answer is everything. They could delete your whole channel and all the content on it. Now, what if that content only exists on the platform and you can't get it back because it's all been deleted? I know a few people that have deleted channels that had to either come back or never return. And it was either over some arbitrary nonsense or something that was completely unjustified. We're a small niche here on YouTube. I think the biggest YouTuber within the music producer community only has a couple million subscribers. And there's a whole world out there beyond YouTube that is a lot more valuable than what is on here. And that's the craziest part about all this. Most of the stuff that gets flagged already exists within the space and is completely okay. Most of the stuff that gets dinged for copyright is stuff that is custom made right there in a live situation. Now, what do you think that does to somebody starting out who has no ability to reach anybody to get any kind of recourse on this? It's crazy. You're going to give up before you even really get started. Even I've gone broke being on YouTube over here while I'm waiting and paying my dues. And the reason for that is because I can't do anything else right now. So it's sink or swim, all or nothing. Like and subscribe. That's another thing I wanted to mention. This whole system, in the way that it's set up, makes people compete in ways that they otherwise wouldn't. Has people reconsidering their content in ways that they otherwise wouldn't. Have them saying that stupid shit over and over again. To hit the like button. Inserting ads in the middle of their videos. Or in the front end of it before they get to their content. And that's all stuff that we have to do. And a lot of that has to do with the lack of fairness on this platform and the fact that we have to go through so much just to be able to get monetized. And you guys have seen that directly on here. So this YouTube conversation is a huge conversation. When you know the truth about things going into it, and you still take that risk, you can't just leave it all into the hands of whichever platform you're on. That's why I support EA Ski and his movement, because this is the type of thing that he is talking about. And you miss out if you're not there live to catch it, but it's valuable information that he is sharing with everybody here. But I could tell you one thing. There'd be a lot more on here like him, of his stature, of his wisdom, of his skill level, taking advantage of this platform. It's not just the trolls. It's not just the other creators that are talking this mess because they feel threatened in their space. All of the subscribers, all of the monetization, all the stuff that you do on this platform, if you spend so much time on it, it starts to affect your decision making and the way that you treat other people. New content creators coming into the space and people within your genre. Now, would that contentiousness exist if this issue that is systemic, if the system were different? Who knows? But I'll say it again. There's a lot of people that not only would they benefit, but YouTube would benefit from having them on this platform. And they refuse to come on here for a lot of these reasons. One of the reasons why I decided to do this video is because what happened in my video specifically. I wanted to tell the story because it was quite the significant situation. For those who saw the live stream and watched the process play out, it was an important song, but it was something that was tucked for 3 years. It was having the vocals of Bandcamp and the awesome guitar of Chxmp Flexington that really made that song. But because it was essentially shadow banned and tucked by the algorithm, it didn't see the kind of light that it should have as the song was released. Now that's really depressing, that after all that time and going through that great experience of creating this song. You make this video and you put it out there, and this is what happens. It's depressing. Like I said, it's really discouraging. Now, one of the reasons for me having Weaver Beats on the thumbnail is because not only is he a friend of the channel as well,
Why do you guys idolize me? What is wrong with you?
but he experiences a lot of nonsense within this space with the type of content he does.
As you may know, the producer community is up in arms again,
Saying and implying far worse things than anything in Venus Theory's video here. So I just thought I'd make mention of that. Plus, Lil Tussin loves that picture.
Chxmp.
So that's it, guys. I just wanted to put this out here and give you guys the perspective from a newer YouTuber who is out here as a music producer. It's really discouraging, and it has me re-strategizing.
So YouTube, if you're still listening, I guess what I really want to say is, please, I invite you and implore you to choke on the veiny rod that is my lick my and have a great day while out of my socks.